Okay, so a few weeks ago I did a video on some EMF blocking pouches, and basically you put your cell phone inside of them and they prevent any cell phone signal or any texting from being able to get to your phone. And it was originally designed to block the EMFs coming off of cell phones, and that certainly some people buy it for that purpose. But with this whole coronavirus thing going on, there's a lot of worry about digital tracing or digital tracking using your cell phone, and some of it being unwanted. Maybe you don't even know that you would be tracked. And so people would like a way to not sort of have this unwanted digital tracing. And one way to do that is to take your cell phone and put it inside one of these pouches, and then the cell service provider is not able to actually find you or locate your position and track your movements and that sort of thing. And so I demonstrated previously putting the cell phone inside of the small pouch and then ringing the cell phone and showing that it doesn't work. So what I did though is I had a number of people write me saying that they would like a slightly larger pouch because while this pouch works great, even for an XS Max, which is a pretty big phone, once you get to some of the larger cases, it's a little bit too small. And so what I did is I had another pouch manufactured. This pouch, when compared to the original one, is 1 inch longer and about half an inch wider. And what that does is it lets the pouch accommodate larger cases for your phone, even for a large phone like the XS Max. So what I want to do today is use the larger pouch with a couple of the larger cases and show that they fit and that it still works properly. So I bought two different OtterBoxes. The first one is the OtterBox Commuter, which is sort of a medium-sized case. And then the other one is the OtterBox Defender Pro, which is just a really big, rugged case. And I want to show that both of these will work just fine inside of the larger pouch, okay? Okay, so the first thing I'll do is I'll take my phone out of this small pouch and I'll move it over to the OtterBox Commuter, and I'll demonstrate how that works. Okay, so I put my phone inside the OtterBox Commuter. You know, it's definitely more rugged, seems like a very good quality case, and it's definitely more substantial and larger than my simple Apple leather case. So now I'll take this and I'll put it inside. Well, I'll tell you what, before we put it inside, let's demonstrate that the phone will in fact ring. Make sure it's not on mute. And I'll just quick dial my number here. It'll take it just a minute to connect and then you should hear it ring. Okay, so cell phone's ringing. I'll go ahead and hang that up. And then what we'll do is we'll take that phone and we'll insert it inside the large pouch. It fits in there without any trouble. It has Velcro closure. So it goes like so. And then we'll just repeat the experiment. So redial it now, and what you'll hear is you'll hear this phone. I'll put this on speaker. You'll hear this phone ring, the landline phone, but you won't hear the cell phone ring. All right, so the landline's ringing, but the cell phone is not ringing. You're not getting any signal, any ability to call it. It'll just go to my voicemail.
Hello, you've reached Target.
All right, so the pouch works great. That's with the OtterBox Commuter. The next thing I'll do is I'll transfer the phone over to the OtterBox Defender Pro. Okay, so I've gone ahead and moved my iPhone XS Max inside of this Defender Pro case. It's a very substantial case. I can see why people like it. It's very rugged. But it is also quite a bit larger. Now it has sort of a rubbery feel all the way around, so it's going to be a little tricky to work into the case, but I'm sure we can get it in there. So first thing we'll do is we'll demonstrate that the phone works okay. So I'll go ahead and dial my number again. You'll hear the cell phone ring here in just a moment. Okay, so it's ringing, connecting just fine. And then we'll take the phone and we'll put it inside the case and we'll repeat that experiment. All right? All right, so it does go in the pouch. Again, this has Velcro on it, so we'll go ahead and seal that up. Now, it's a snug fit with something as large as the Defender Pro, but it definitely still goes in and still seals just fine. And most importantly, let's make sure that it still works. So we'll redial the number. I'll put that on speaker. So again, you'll hear it ring here, but not on the cell phone, and then it'll go to voicemail. Okay, so the landline's ringing, it's trying to connect, but it doesn't make it, the cell phone doesn't ring at all. And then it'll just go to my voicemail again.
Hello, you've reached Target.
Okay, so that demonstrates how it works with two different fairly large cases. Again, the first one was the OtterBox Commuter, and then the second one was this Defender Pro. So again, the point of the experiment was to show that these new pouches are large enough to fit some of the bigger cases like the OtterBox Commuter, OtterBox Defender Pro, but they can also be used for smaller phones as well, or phones with smaller cases. It's a very soft, flexible material, so you can easily put a smaller phone in there and stuff it down in a purse or put it in your pocket or something like that. And again, what these allow you to do is essentially sort of no longer be tracked or traced from your cell phone. And people don't realize how easy it is for cell phone companies to always monitor your position. A number of crimes have certainly been solved that way, where criminals weren't smart enough to know that they had their phones with them, and wherever they went, their positions were tracked. So the point of these really was twofold. One was to help reduce the EMFs coming off of phones, and the other one was to help you prevent this digital tracing or tracking that might be associated with the outbreak of the coronavirus. Now, again, I have nothing against tracing or tracking to try and keep people informed about who they've been exposed to and whether or not they might be at risk of becoming infected. I think that's great. What a lot of people object to, and I object to, is this sort of unwanted tracing or tracking that you're never told about or asked for your permission to do. And there's been a number of countries that have already enacted mandatory tracing like that. And so some people, obviously don't like that liberty, their liberty stepped on in that way, and so they want ability to be able to essentially prevent their phone from being traced. And that's what these would do, all right? So anyway, I just wanted to bring this to you, demonstrate the larger pouches. You can order them at disasterpreparer.com.